I'm going to explain this before the blood rushes to my head. A hand plant's one of the coolest and most iconic tricks in skateboarding. It looks insane and it feels even crazier. Then yeah, it's one of the hardest tricks to learn. But what if I told you I could teach in just 7 steps? Let's break down the hand plant. A hand plant is exactly what it sounds like. Ride up the transition, plant one hand on the coping and grab your board with the other. There are tons of variations, but today we're focusing on the most common one, the invert. Step 1, the grab. The way to grab an invert is with your front hand on the board and back hand on the ramp. The type of grab used for an invert is called a mute grab. This is where you take your front hand and place it diagonal across your body to grab the other side of the board. Your back hand is used to place your thumb on the coping as you go backside round your arm. Your feet can be in almost any position for this trick as all the technique comes from your upper body. You won't be able to do much with this in flat ground as you'll need some transition to throw yourself over your arm. Step 2, choosing the right ramp. When you're looking for a ramp to try these on, what you need to do is pick a ramp that's at the very least taller than you are. There's almost no such thing as a ramp being too high, but it can definitely be too small. In fact, the bigger ramp you choose to practice these on, the faster you'll learn them. It doesn't mean you're going to be trying using coping straight away, but you at least need something that will give you the hut needed to propel your body up and over your arm. Step 3, work your way up. When you find a ramp you're happy with, then it's time to begin working your way up. Start off low and go higher each time. You want to keep working your way up until you can feel your heels hitting off the coping. At this stage you need to start committing to putting your weight over your hand and your legs are now in the air. By planting your hands low in the ramp by allowing your legs and board to go up and bounce off the coping, you're making it a lot easier to invert your body and have your arm take all your weight. Step 4, grab the board. This next step sounds simple, but it's one of the biggest things I see people mess up, and that's failing to keep the board in your hand. Failing the invert is one thing, but if you forget to grab the board, then you're going to be falling into the ramp wondering where your board is and if it's going to hit you. On a mini ramp the board is likely to go off to the side, but once you start hitting bigger ramps with even a hint of vert, then you're in danger. I've been hit by the board many times and it sucked. Don't be like me, even if you barely invert, keep a hold of the board, it'll save you a lot of trouble. Step 5, go higher. You're probably thinking the next step is to commit to landing one of these inverts, and well, you'd be wrong. That's because it's going to take you a lot more time, effort and stress to land these low in the transition than it will at the top of the ramp. No, the next thing you're going to do is start working your way up the ramp, each time planting your hand a little higher while keeping your board in the other hand before bailing. Spend as much time as you need practicing this until your hand is just below the coping. Step 6, touching the coping. This next part seems pretty simple, but for me is one of the most challenging parts of this trick, and that's getting your hand from the top of the transition and onto the coping. This is a true example of mind over matter. All you need to do is move your hand a couple inches above where it currently is, and yet doing so can seem impossible as the fear of missing your hand as you go upside down at the top of the ramp can be overwhelming. So let's make it simple. All you need to do is focus on touching your thumb on the coping. You might just need to play around with it. Step 7, commit. And the last step to do an invert is eating shit. No, sorry, it's rolling away. When you really think about it, this is technically the easiest part of the whole trick. Nothing to learn here, no technique, all you need to do is allow yourself to fall back into the ramp. When I was learning these, I practiced everything solo, but I waited until I had a session with my friends to go for the full commitment. The extra height was exactly what I needed. My first invert, unforgettable. Always remember, the higher you go, the easier this trick is, so whenever possible, pad up, hit the vert and go for it.